Okay, call the special meeting to order for Monday, November 22nd, fourth, I mean, yeah. Call it to order and turn it over to Heidi.
Okay, one of our concerns, first of all, I wanna say, from what I gather from the board, everyone is very supportive of this project. We recently, was it last Monday or Tuesday, just had a meeting with our CPA. And it really kind of put everything in black and white, the situation, more so made the board more aware of where the town is at financially. And I started in 23 and walked into a situation that none of us were aware of. We have several past due bills. We're looking at raising our rates. Our concern is our meeting with, when we approved the process to start the annexation, Kurt kind of took and ran with that. The problem is when he does that, the bill comes back to the town. He's doing that on our behalf, and we do not, flat out, we don't have the money to pay for this. Even though it's gonna benefit us greatly, our problem is we can't pay for it to be done to wait for the benefit later. We need help in paying for the process of getting the annexation started and done. And I recall, and we watched the meeting before, and the reason why I invited is we're gonna either have to stop the process or figure out a different way to get it paid for. And we wanted to reach out to you to see if that would be something, Kurt's bill or getting your own attorney involved, or if that would be something that you would be willing to take on the responsibility financially for, so that we can continue to move forward with this progress.
What, has he got a bill already that he has incurred, and or does he know what the cost is?
I have not received a bill yet. They ordered the title search, so there'll be a bill for that, and he started working on the petition. Someone said to me, and this would be entirely up to you gentlemen, that there would be, since he's the town attorney, he can't charge you. But I don't know if there's a way where if we, both parties agree to it, or if this is something you want to take on your attorney to do, or if you want to go with his expertise. I will share with you, so maybe you kind of understand. Part of our situation with the town is that taxes were not paid for several years. So when I came in and then discovered this, that is where one of our big issues is with finances. And we haven't raised rates. Instead of raising rates slowly through the years, they haven't raised rates since 2013. And everyone knows the costs of things have increased a lot since 2013. So we kind of wanted to bring you in and be honest and upfront and say, and you can ask the gentleman, I don't want to speak for them at all, but I know everyone was excited and we wanted to do this. And I did ask about the costs. I guess I didn't go into depth far enough with Kurt to know that he was taking on upfront costs before, because they went immediately, jumped into the project and went to the capital part of it with the lines and different things as well. So I don't know what you gentlemen want to add.
That's pretty much outlines it.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about taxes were not paid. Was it on our property or just?
No.
general bureau?
No. that is why the town is in a bad financial, town taxes were not paid.
Like FICA tax, things like that.
Employment taxes, yeah.
Yes,
federal
and
state taxes.
so, and not just a couple months, years.
Wow.
And that is why we have to be very careful. And we got into another situation where we had paid more than we intended for a project that ended up being more in-depth and through the attorney's fees. So we're just trying to be careful. We have to make sure that we can maintain our utilities, make sure we can maintain our salaries and move forward, but we don't want to discourage any advancement.
And part of our problem, the state auditors haven't been in here for 7 years, and we're waiting on them. They told us it'll all be done by the end of September, and we're gonna be going into next year because they always get called someplace else or drag their feet or saying we don't have this done or that done. And we have a financial lady working on it full time.
It was just kind of a perfect storm of, and then when you got someone new in looking at it with different eyes, things came to light. So we don't know, I guess we have to see how you want to continue, but the upfront costs of getting started, the petition and other things as well. You know, we need, the town is gonna need that to fall on you and not on the town, just through no fault of yourself. Just it's black and white, we just don't have the money.
If we would get an annex, then would there be you think there would ever be a reimbursement or probably not? Or
To it, well, I spoke with other town managers, and usually what is presented to towns are the plans, are the more information. How is it going to benefit the town? How many years is it going to take the town to recoup that benefit? What are our costs? It's government. Usually government's not too friendly. They want you to do the work and pay for it, and then they'll take it over. And I'm very new at this, and I am just the clerk treasurer. So all I can say is we don't have the money to pay for it. But in speaking with this gentleman, we don't want to discourage. We want to do things that will help our town in the long run. So we're kind of between a rock and a hard place. It's going to be several years before the town gets straightened out financially due to the amounts.
Well, obviously, I don't know if we can commit to anything without knowing the financial cost of what the attorney fees would have to think it'd be relatively minimal compared to the whole development cost. But in all honesty, we would rather work with you guys and the county of LaGrange than we would through Noble County's requirements. Sure. And obviously, you guys would be better off financially if you annex that land while it's bare land and there's no improvements on it, because then you're going to realize the benefits of those improvements in your assessed value, versus if we go ahead and fully develop that property and then you annex, then there's a minimal amount of assessed value that you're going to gain compared to what there would be if you annex it with bare ground. So part of it is obviously selfish. We want an easier process to get our project through, but we do think it benefits you guys as well too in the long run, on that side.
Absolutely.
As far as hiring another attorney, I mean, you're still going to probably have some expense with Kurt anyways, just if another attorney brings something forward, you're going to have him look at it at a minimum. Mm-hmm. So there could be some merit in just using him irregardless.
Yeah, we realize we minimize those. We want to minimize those costs if we can. We realize there'll be an interaction with that for
Yeah.
approval processes and reviews and everything else.
So from one standpoint, it would seem maybe better to, if we can negotiate with them and get a firm price of what it would take
That's an
to
option.
do that, then, yeah.
And that was one of my concerns, was he was not giving me a price. You can ask Dean, I asked several times, what would this upfront cost be?
Yeah.
And I was not given anything, and so that was a big concern, because, you know, approximately what would your billable hours be is a legit question.
Right.
You know, because we got into something that we thought would be 10, 15 billable hours and ended up being probably triple or quadruple that. And we're trying to do better on moving forward and having things like you would, you know, so we know what we're getting into.
As a professional, sometimes, you know, you don't know, but then other times you probably have a general idea, or at least a ballpark idea where it's gonna be.
Right. There should be a customary average cost for doing stuff like that.
We-
Yeah.
I
Especially knowing that it's not gonna be contested. I mean, we're not, at least we don't believe it is, right? I mean, in theory, the only people to contest it would be us, or Paul, because it's his property. It's not like you're going out and forcing people to be annexed into the town, and there's 3 people, you know, that you're asking to be annexed, and they don't want it, so they may, you know, contest that, and then that'd be an issue. So I don't know if anybody honestly has any standing other than us to challenge, you know, that, since we're requesting it. I mean,
The only glitch might happen, they like a wholesale annexation, so if there's any lots in there that it requires, anyone else is gonna be pulled in, like the storage unit, the motorcycle shop, those guys, there has to be 100% buy-in for an annexation, the way I understand it, so that'd be the only glitch I see, is if they don't want to.
so,
You can't have a donut hole where it's not annexed, so.
okay.
Not sure.
Does the town, does the corporate limits is on the other side of the road by the storage units?
It's towards the east yet. I'm not sure exactly where it is. I would assume the sign for the town is pretty close.
The fire station?
Yeah, the wastewater treatment
The
plant's
wastewater,
in town, and then after that, it's shortly after that it changes.
But
Boy,
that's
I understood you guys was gonna build homes in there, and then I hear there's gonna be businesses, and I've heard all kinds of things. Is there anything official that you was just looking for?
There's nothing official. But
Okay.
the goal was, and I've heard all kinds of stories too. The goal,
You
my
must
goal
have
is to have businesses in there, not homes.
businesses?
You want
Yes.
an industrial park.
An industrial park
Commercial
where our
areas.
Amish community would come in and have their woodworking shop or a metal shop, or somebody could have a coffee shop, or not build a business and a home behind it.
Okay. So not mixed, it's all non-residential.
Yeah.
This morning I was just thinking of, if we don't annex, you know, I could also subdivide it and just put homes in the no businesses. So I don't know, I don't want both.
Right.
Where an Amish person would buy it and have a home behind it, or, I think it would be, with the bike trail going through there, it'd be perfect for businesses in the town.
Yeah. That's gonna be a highway through there for bikes and stuff.
Yeah, that was our thought, a mix of light industrial,
Mhm.
you know, light manufacturing, and businesses.
Yeah.
Was I think the initial idea there.
They employ a lot of people, a lot of times, that's a
Right.
good thing.
But obviously, if we can't get annexed and we have to go through Noble County, that may force us to have to just put residential in, because their process may be too difficult to get through to do the business and the industrial.
Right.
Do you think Noble County is worse than LaGrange County?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
hands down.
There's,
I'll say it on record too, and I am, but.
Well, I
Yes.
can't believe that, because LaGrange County's got some laws nobody else in the state's got.
I think they're good laws, but this is just, maybe I'm biased, but
We do a lot of projects. I mean,
Oh, I understand.
And I mean, I predominantly work in LaGrange County. We do some work in Elkhart County and some in Noble. But yeah, a similar project between the two counties would be very, very simple in LaGrange and very difficult in Noble County.
But I'll give you an example. I know a guy wanted to build a house in LaGrange County, and they run him around the bush. He went to Noble County and built it with no problem.
If you get around like the lake residential, that's in LaGrange County, they've really clamped down hard on that. So from that standpoint, yeah, lake residential is more difficult than LaGrange County, no
Well,
question.
it wasn't late. They wanted this guy to put down piling where he didn't need it.
Okay, yeah, and if you're zoned lake residential, no matter where you're at, even if you're by the lake or not, then you have to have pilings.
Yeah, I understand.
That's a commissioner ordinance
I
there.
don't get that.
Yeah, so there's little idiosyncrasies, but as a whole, then the type of project we're looking at would be a lot easier to get through LaGrange County. Not that we're trying to cut corners or anything, it's just our
Right.
cost and administrative processes sometimes is 2 and 3 times, what it maybe should be.
Right.
And it's definitely more costly to get through the Noble County processes and more hurdles to jump through.
Right. Well, I have no idea what the attorney fees are gonna be, but I would like to explore that to see what you can come up with. Either you have your own attorney or approach Beers Maulers to see what they can say. I don't wanna hold things up, that's for sure.
Yeah, we don't, and he's already started on the petition. Just our concern was we did something for a resident and it was supposed to be 2,500. It ended up costing the town over 10,000.
Okay.
And the benefit that we will see for that probably won't equal that cost until 15 years from now.
Right.
And when they were talking about the annexation, because of how it fell, it was like it could possibly be broken up, like annex this part and now you have this part touching and then do another petition to get it, so then you get the whole thing in eventually, but it might be more than one.
I think they
And
like to do annexations all at once, though, the state
they
does.
can't because of how if you listen to how the property, what it touches, the town property. If you listen to that meeting, like say this is their property here, this part down here touches corporate. So Kurt had talked about you have to do I don't know if you remember him talking
8-to-1
about
ratio.
do one and then you have this property touching and then you're able to get the rest in because now you have the square.
It's based on the perimeter, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have to
if
have
we
certain-
have 300 feet, let's say, touching of our property that touches the entity we want to incorporate with, then we can't have any more of a perimeter than 8 times that
Correct.
around ours, which I think we're under the 8-to-1 on our property.
Okay.
So I believe we meet that standard
Okay.
there. I don't know 100%, but I believe we do meet that. It would just be that donut you talked about. But I thought that north of our property was not town limits, across the county line was not town.
That's correct. Right.
So we wouldn't be making a donut there. It would be
Okay.
so
Yeah,
I get-
okay.
so it would come, and I'm sure. Well, I can't really speak for those people, but I would imagine the motorcycle shop probably would have no benefit in
I
being
think
annexed.
they don't attach to it, they're.
He's already in corporate.
Oh, he already is.
He
Okay.
is. Yes.
So it'd just be the storage units then.
The store, and I
Another
believe
house.
there's another lot in between.
There's a house in there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there is. Okay. All right. So I can see that residential house then probably say, well, how's it going to benefit me? You're just going to make me, my taxes are going to be higher, right?
No, all it does is make sure that your taxes go into the state, then they're divvied back out, so it ensures that the taxes are applied to the town as opposed to county.
Well, but if I'm not in the corporate limits, I don't pay any town tax.
That's correct.
But if I am incorporated, then I'll pay another 10 cents or whatever for the town or whatever your rate is. So then I can see somebody saying, well, what is that really benefiting me
Sure.
as a small residential? Since I live right on the edge of it, right? You're already probably going to bring your police out there if there's an issue, more than likely, because it's right very close, or fire.
The only thing it might help is with resale
Yes.
in the future. That's one of the things.
Yeah, so I think we were hoping to avoid having to do that, to have somebody else feel like they were being forced in on our
Sure.
project.
Right.
So I guess that's something we'd have to explore a little bit too. So.
Okay.
Well, that's what I believe he was talking about, using the back half of the lot that is in corporate limits. Is that amount that to start the annexation with?
Sure thing. Kurt was thinking it needed to be done in 2 pieces.
If you, I can't speak. That's what I gathered was the part that of the property that is attached is not big enough because of whatever rules. I'm not that familiar with annexation to know the feet or the amount, how much you're allowed to annex based on how much of the property is touching the corporate property already. And we hated to have this meeting, but we didn't, it's the town, we have to take care of the town's business. And so what I guess I'm hearing is you're not opposed to possibly working with Kurt if we know that it's not going to be a $2 million bill, or so what do we do? I can get a hold of Kurt, email Kurt and let him know the outcome of this meeting, and then what do you suggest? That they reach out to Kurt and talk with him to get the possible billable hours to get the petition started and what all he needs to do to move forward? Because I asked these questions and I did not get answers from him.
I can do that. I'll reach out to Kurt.
You've worked with Kurt, I know.
I work with him, and he'll give me somewhat of an answer, I think.
Right.
And I don't think you should feel bad about having this meeting. I think it's very, very upfront instead of
That's the
behind.
important part.
And I think, thank you for doing this,
Yes.
so we know where we sit too.
See, where that brick house is at, that was all in the old Holsinger farm. Because Johnny Holsinger's dad built that house there when he got out of the farming business. And then Johnny moved up there after he died, and they've sold parts of it off. And that's why it's all messed up now. This person and that person have bought parts of it. I've been around here too long.
Well understood.
But, the town limit sign used to be right on the east side of that house on that fence road. That's where the town limit sign used to be. Now,
On
why
the south
it's-
side.
Huh?
South side.
On the south
Yeah.
side, right. That's where it always was, so that gives you an idea of where it was at. But he just built that house in the corner of that farm lot there, and then they sold the rest of it to the storage unit and the other people, so through the years, this is what's happened.
When would you guys are still good with going ahead with everything? You
Yeah.
Just,
We just can't finance
financing
anything.
part is the only holdup.
Otherwise, we're still 100%. That's the only shortcoming way out.
And then if there is a way for the board to waive, I guess, conflict of interest, or to do something where we could use Kurt and you were willing to work with Kurt as well, that would probably save the town some money as well, because he's doing the work so he won't have to review it as much. And so that could possibly help us out as well. But we didn't want to get into a situation where we have these bills and we have to stop. We want, that was something that we're really trying to do, is be upfront, like you said, and having the meeting with our financial advisor. I can see things and I can tell them things, but seeing it in black and white, seeing the numbers, that makes a big difference.
I'm good if yours.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Well, if you got any questions, you can always call Heidi, or you're around here a lot, I know,
Yeah.
so.
Just want to make sure we keep everything open and on the table, because it could be a train wreck pretty fast if we don't.
Yeah. Main thing would be get some assurances from Kurt where we're at on his costs, and so we know.
Maybe
what
even
we're
his
looking
time.
at, so.
You might be able to forecast a completion date for it. Help you out with that too. So it puts you a little more in control of the destiny of the situation.
And then, what he's willing or he's allowed to do to be able to, obviously, there'll be, after you talk to him, he'll probably have to talk to us, but getting those costs done and keep moving forward. If that is within your range of your project of what you are willing to take on or not take on. But the town would definitely like to see the project move forward. In
Absolutely.
our opinion, we're just concerned about being able to pay our bills.
All right.
Here's my phone number. You can call me. I don't have yours, but
Okay,
you can call me sometime with it.
Just yank off
So,
the official
you're gonna
stamp.
go ahead and reach out to Kurt.
Here, you wanna write it down on a piece of paper and give it to him?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll reach out to Kurt.
I'll give you town hall and then I'll give you my cell. Well, thank you for coming on such short notice as
thanks.
well.
How's it going otherwise?
Busy.
Yeah. Surveying the braids out, huh?
Yeah.
You work with Rex Pranger at all with the section corner stuff that you got going on?
Some, he's
Okay.
pretty well retired, so I don't see
Yeah.
it too much.
I guess on Tuesdays they work section corners
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
surveyor.
we can give them information of ones that aren't the cast iron monuments, they put those in,
Yeah.
so if the ones that are not there, share information, so.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
thank you
Thanks for
guys.
being
Thank you,
upfront,
guys.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Set it off.
Gotta adjourn the meeting.
Okay, now, I heard the outfit
Meeting's adjourned.